then speaks to the group of people come to arrest him. Only in Matthew does it give a timing. In that same hour, said Jesus to the multitudes, "Are you come out as against a thief?" That term, "in the same hour," means right then. They don't judge events by minutes and seconds. The soonest amount of time that something can happen is in the same hour. Even though it sounds a bit strange, there was no gap in time. It's just he turned to them and spoke to them. But since it is the only mention of timing, I'll still put it in there. Mark and said to them. I already used Jesus answered. I used the multitudes instead of them. Luke, then Jesus said to the chief priests and captains of the temple and the elders which were come to him. That is much more specific than just the multitudes. John doesn't have this. It just says the band and the captains and the officers of the Jews took Jesus. So I think I will put then in that same hour. Then from Luke, and then in the same hour from Matthew. Said Jesus to. I think I'll put the name first instead of said Jesus. There is an and from Mark, so I'll use the multitudes first from Matthew, Mark, and now all the people mentioned from Luke. To the chief priests and captains of the temple and the elders which were come to him. Matthew, are you come out as against a thief? Mark, are you come out as against a thief, with swords and with staves to take me? Luke, be you come out as against a thief, with swords and staves? I think are you is a bit more correct, at least nowadays, so I'm going to go with that. Matthew and Mark, are you come out as against a thief? And that's all three. With swords and staves, for to take me. Mark, with swords and with, that second with is in italics, staves, to take me. Luke, with swords and staves, to take me, is not here. So I will have with swords and staves. I'm not going to add the second with. And I'm going to go with how Mark has it. Not for to take me, but just to take me. With swords and staves. That's all three. To take me. So I'm skipping 4 in Matthew. To take me is in Matthew and Mark. It's not in Luke. The second part of his response is Matthew. I sat daily with you teaching in the temple. Mark, I was daily with you in the temple teaching. Luke, when I was daily with you in the temple. Those are very different. I think I should have the when at the beginning. When I was with you in the temple, instead of just I was daily with you in the temple. Matthew, I sat daily. Was is in Mark and Luke, and it's also more general than just sat. It's just that he was there. There were many times where he was walking around and teaching, so sitting in the temple is not the important part. The fact that he was present among them, that's what matters. I was daily with you. Luke doesn't have teaching. Mark has in the temple teaching. Matthew has teaching in the temple. I think his location is the more important part. He was in the temple, open to everyone to see. What he was doing was teaching, but he was present. That's more important, so I'm going to put that first. Luke first, when. I is all three. is Mark and Luke. Daily with you in the temple is all three. And now I'll put teaching, the order from Mark. Matthew has, and you laid no hold on me. Luke, you stretched forth no hands against me. Okay, Matthew, Mark, and Luke all have just different enough sayings that I could put all three and it would still make sense. It wouldn't be redundant. However, Matthew, Mark, and Luke only have Jesus saying one thing that they're not doing. When I was in the temple, you didn't, whatever it was, this one thing. So I think it would be a problem for me to have all three, because that would be different from all three where he only said one thing. So which did he say? Is it you laid no hold on me? Or from Luke, you stretched forth no hands against me? Or from Mark, you took me not? Maybe I can have two. At this moment, I don't think they're actually holding him. I know they did grab him, they did say they were taking him, but Peter attacked, cut off someone's ear, and then Jesus had enough freedom to grab the ear and heal, or perhaps he just put his hand on the guy and grew a new ear. I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but he had enough freedom to do that, so he's obviously not completely restrained. Maybe they're not even holding him now. Maybe they just let him go because he's doing something good, contrary to what they would expect someone being arrested to do. So maybe what it says in Matthew doesn't fit the best. You laid no hold on me. What they're doing now is trying to take him, so Mark does fit. And in Luke, it also makes sense because their actions of stretching forth their hands against him has happened. So I think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with Luke and Mark instead of Matthew. And I'll put Luke first. Stretched forth no hands against me. Because that has to happen first in order to take him. So I'll combine anything from Matthew with Luke. You, no, and me. Matthew, but all this was done that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. But the scriptures must be fulfilled. Luke has an extra statement, but this is your hour and the power of darkness. I think I'm going to have them totally separate, but from all three. So I'm just going to have the statement from Luke, because that's the only one that's different. This is your hour and the power of darkness. Now, from Matthew, the and. Matthew has all this was done. Mark is the scripture must be fulfilled. That the scriptures of the prophets, that's only Matthew. Still Matthew, all this was done, that the scriptures is both of the prophets might be fulfilled or must be fulfilled. It would make sense with Mark to say, but the scriptures must. But since I have all this was done, that the scriptures, it has to be might. It wouldn't make sense to have all this was done, that the scriptures must be fulfilled. No. Might be fulfilled is both.